Hey guys, so welcome to my new recording area. I hope you all really enjoy it. This will be now my new location for recording videos, requests, tutorials, all of those exciting things inside my bedroom. So yay for that. So I don't know if you guys have noticed, but on some of my videos I have been asking for requests and suggestions for different videos to record, and one of which was a dating advice video. And so today I wanted to take the opportunity to kind of give you guys, my suggestions, my experiences, and kind of my advice on, dating. And again, I apologize because my dog is crying and his kennel is right there. So I apologize for that now if you hear that, but he wants out to say hi to all of you. So first and foremost, we'll just get into some of the just general questions. How many times have I been in love? 3. And in love being actually like in love with the person. I've been in a total of 4 serious relationships. And again, only 3 of those have actually been in love with the individual. Also, as most of you know, I've been, I'm going to say roughly single for about 8 or 9 months now. I just recently got out of an exclusive relationship, but it was only 2 months long, and sadly we weren't on the same page with what we wanted in a relationship and kind of the expectations of a relationship and what they needed, and so that is kind of why that ended. But prior to that, I was single, and my long-term relationship ended last year in March. And so since then I've, been doing dating socially and whatnot. Because of my schedule, I work full-time, I go to school, I don't have a lot of time to do things like go to nightclubs or, go to bars or, go to parties or things of that sort. My time is very limited with regards to that kind of stuff. Plus, I don't gravitate towards that type of behavior anyways. Now, don't get me wrong, I have gone to clubs and I have gone to bars, but that's not the place I want to meet somebody going forward, nor the last, cumulatively, 9 months now that I've been single. So it's not the place I want to go, either place, excuse me. So I have tried online dating. And I'm sure some of you are familiar with what that is, but basically it's where you create a profile, you upload various photos of yourself, and it can be all in any kind of photos, full body photos, headshots, etc. And basically what it is you create a blurb or a biography, a small biography about yourself, hobbies, things you like to do, your interests. It can include your political views, your religious views. It can also include education, income, and you can be as thorough and detailed with these profiles as you'd like, or you can be very brief and kind of leave more to the opposite sex or the opposite person, pursuing you, whether that be male or female, and just leave that up for conversation basically and have them ask you, oh, so what are your political views, or oh, what are your religious views? I see that you haven't answered that on your profile. But anyways, the point I was trying to make with saying the online dating was best for me was because my time is very limited, and I have 2 dogs, and outside of being at work 40 hours a week, and I'm also looking into possibly taking on a second job, it's just not feasible for me to kind of have that, nightlife where I would go to clubs and bars and things of that sort. The online dating allows me the opportunity to do things from the convenience of my own home. It allows me the opportunity to have conversations with people in the comfort of my own home, just from my computer, my tablet, anything. And even some of these websites now have mobile apps. You can download the app to your phone, and then, on your lunch break, before, after work, things of that sort, you can actually go on the mobile app and access your profile that way as well. So it's definitely a convenient method to dating. I will say the one downer to that, though, is you lose out on face-to-face communication, which is really big for me. Communication in general is really big for me, and so that is one thing that you have to be okay with when doing the online dating is you don't get a lot of face-to-face communication. A lot of things are done through email, through texting, over the phone. So having a lot of phone conversations which those are good, but I always think that face-to-face conversations are the best. However, you really miss out on that with online dating initially at the beginning until you're ready to meet the person. So another thing that I have also learned recently with my experiences of online dating, because for this last, I'd say, like I mentioned, 9 or 10 months, it's been online dating. And, for me, dating is, I don't know really the word to describe it, but it's interesting, to say the least. You meet a lot of different people from all different walks of life. You get to see different personalities. You get to learn different things about people as far as their interests, their hobbies, and just in general, you get to learn, informative things. But, you get people from all walks of life. I wouldn't say I really had any bad experiences as far as dating is concerned. There's been guys that I've only gone on one date with, and then that was it. One date, go to dinner, and then that's kind of it. And keep in mind, before I even get to the in-person date, whether it be dinner, coffee, whatnot, I've already now emailed this person for quite a while, or I have had a phone conversation with them and emailed them. So it's not just, hi, I'm interested in you, and then they contact you on your profile and then you go and meet them. You're not just going and doing it that way. You want to try to establish some conversation and see if there's an interest just through the communicating of emails and phone conversations first, and then you take it to the next step of meeting in person. At least for me, that's what I do. So getting back to just the basics of online dating and dating in general. So again, online dating is kind of what I've found to be the most convenient and also the easiest way to meet people from all walks of life and from different areas throughout where I live. So one thing I would suggest when it comes to dating, and this is just dating in general, whether it be you've met the person in the grocery store and you guys were grabbing the same carton of eggs, or you guys meet through friends or whatnot, my first suggestion would be to be honest, to be yourself. Really and truly, I cannot emphasize to you enough, don't be somebody you're not just because you want somebody to like you or you want somebody to give you a second date or give you a third date or be interested in you, because it's not going to get you anywhere ultimately, because eventually you're going to want your true colors to show. You're going to want to be yourself and relax, and in doing so, it's almost as if you kind of put on a facade. And it's like, well, why do that? If someone's going to like you for who you are, then someone's going to like you for who you are. You don't need to be somebody you're not just to get somebody to like you. I found with dating, one thing that I find really impressive about going on a date with a guy is his intelligence. Intelligence for me is a really big thing. How you hold a conversation, how you communicate, how you express yourself. Those are really big qualities for me that I look for in somebody that I want to date. And I've noticed that sometimes there are some men where they're very, I don't want to say superficial, but they definitely are more worried about looks than personality. We'll put it that way. And for me, I think looks are important to a certain extent, but they definitely don't take precedence. For me, what matters most is the person's personality and the person's heart. Are they a compassionate person? Are they a good person? And for the most part, you can kind of get a general idea of whether or not the person is that way or not. You can kind of get a general idea by how they communicate, how they express themselves, what they have to show for themselves as far as, do they work full-time? Do they have a job? What type of education do they have? What are their hobbies? You can kind of get a roundabout idea. But I would definitely, again, and as I mentioned, first and foremost, be yourself. Be honest about who you are and be yourself. Second, I would recommend having respect for yourself and having respect for the other person. And by that I mean having enough respect for yourself to know what you deserve in a relationship or what you deserve in a dating relationship as well. And sticking to that, whether that be kind of a list in your head of things that you feel are valuable to you, whether it be morals or just different values that you want out of a significant other. And this could go male or female. And really sticking to that, having enough respect for yourself to know what you deserve, and having enough respect for the other person where if it doesn't work out or you don't feel you're compatible, again, be honest about that and have enough respect for the other person to say, hey, you know, Joe Bobaroo, I think that, you know, you're a really great person, but I don't think we're compatible, and I would really appreciate still either being friends with you or, you know, just being honest, but being polite about it. You don't need to be hurtful or be mean to somebody because you don't think that it will go anywhere with that person. So that would be my next thing, would be respect. And then third, and I would have to say finally, trust your gut instincts. If you know, feel like someone's coming off a little strong or a little abrasive, you know, kind of acknowledge those feelings, acknowledge those thoughts. For me personally, there's sometimes where I can go on a date with a guy one time and immediately be like, there's just something about him that rubs me the wrong way. And for me, that's kind of like a sign to myself, you know, those red flags you want to pay attention to. And for me, it's like, okay, that's a red flag. Why am I getting this vibe from him? Is it in his demeanor? Is it in something that he said? Is it how he's acting? You know, was he, if we went, let's say, to coffee or to dinner, was he rude to the wait staff? Was he, you know, rude to somebody in public in front of me? You know, pay attention to why you're getting the feeling that you're getting about that person you're going on a date with and why. Dating is such a tricky subject, and you know, I don't think that there's a right or a wrong way really to date somebody. You kind of just have to do what's best for you and what's best for you in the moment as well. I believe that it's circumstantial. There might be one person that you're just like, wow, this person is so great. They have all these traits and qualities and characteristics I'm looking for, but then it doesn't work out. And then the next person you're like, oh, heck no, techno, like not my cup of tea. It truly just depends on the person. And again, it depends on your experiences. It's hard because sometimes I feel like having experience and not having experience is like a double-edged sword. They both have their benefits and they both have their drawbacks. For example, you know, I have experience with dating and I have experience with more than one relationship and more than one serious relationship. And I would say the positive to that is it's really shown me what I want, both in a relationship and in, you know, my companion. And also it shows me the things I don't want in a relationship and the things I won't tolerate in a significant other. And I feel like experience has showed me that. Now, the drawback to that is getting hurt possibly several times, or as the old saying goes, kissing a lot of frogs before you find your prince. I definitely believe the pain that's been caused has gotten more severe as time's gone on because, you know, I feel like with each new prospect, so to speak, I feel like I've become that much more aware of what I'm looking for and that much more aware of what I want. And so it's harder each time when it doesn't work out then. And it creates, I wouldn't say the word baggage because that's not the correct term, but it definitely creates you to be more cautious and more wary going forward. And a little bit, it becomes a little bit harder to trust somebody going forward because of the damage that's been done from your past. And again, that ties back to the negative side, I think, personally for myself with having experience. And then someone without experience, I feel like the positive to that would be they haven't had their heart broken. And for me personally, I kind of feel like having your heart broken is probably one of the worst feelings in the whole wide world. It definitely feels like you're dying by far. And I would have to say that that would be definitely a huge positive to not having experience with relationships or not having experience with several relationships where that's actually happened to you. And that goes for dating, exclusivity, or actually being in a committed boyfriend, girlfriend, 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 boyfriend, boyfriend relationship. So the drawback now to not having experience is you haven't really formulated possibly what you want in a relationship as far as, you know, you don't want that person to be the center of your world, so much so where you forget about your friends, you forget about your family, and you forget about the people who are most close to you outside of that significant other. And I think that that's really important because the only way to learn is through trial and error and through experience. Again, my personal opinion. But somebody who doesn't have experience with dating or doesn't have a lot of experience may not understand or may not realize that they are subconsciously pushing people away without realizing it and making that significant other the, you know, whole center of their world and forgetting about their loved ones and forgetting about those people that were there before this person was. And so I want to caution you all, and this goes for if you've had experience, you don't have any experience, you have a little experience, don't make that person so much of your world that you forget about the other people in your life, that you forget about your friends, or you forget about your family, or you make your friends and family last priority to this person in your life, this boyfriend, this girlfriend. Because speaking from experience, you will lose people in your life because of it. And it's not a good feeling. And it's good to remember that the people that were there before are going to be the people that are there after. Obviously, unless it leads to marriage or something of that sort, in which case, you know, you want to hope that you maintained all of your relationships. And you also want to have your own space, have your own time, have your own social life and your own life outside of your relationship with your significant other. And for me, again, this brings me back to when I'm dating somebody, it really shows me a little bit about them when I see that they aren't constantly wanting to see me, or they aren't constantly waiting till the next time we hang out. They have their own hobbies, they have other responsibilities, and they have other things to do outside of their dating relationship with me or their relationship with me. It's very, very important to maintain things that you enjoy, maintain hobbies, maintain activities, sports, whatever the case may be. If it's doing things with your animals, then maintaining that. If it's baking, which I have totally gotten on a kick with, like baking and cooking lately, it's been progressive, but still, man, am I good at it, let me tell you. Totally side thing there. But I would, you know, caution you to just be conscientious of that and be aware of that. Do not make that person the center of your world. You want to maintain a life outside of that. And the best way I can describe this in kind of a little bit of a, I don't know, a little bit of a phrase is you want that, you're already a complete person and you want that person to be an addition to your life. You don't want that person to complete who you are, and you don't want to be incomplete without having that person in your life. You want to already be a complete item, and then they're just kind of an addition and a benefit to your already completed life. And with that being said, I hope I haven't rambled too much. I wanted to try to express and describe everything that I think and that I feel about dating and about relationships and about being in love that I can. If I've forgotten anything, go ahead and leave me a comment down below, ask questions. I will definitely respond to you. But again, these are my own opinions, my own thoughts, my own feelings. But definitely just trust your gut instinct, be honest with yourself, be aware of how you feel, be aware of red flags. Again, this is for males and females. And know what you deserve, both for yourself, for your life, and for your relationship. Know the qualities and the traits that you deserve in a person, and don't settle for less than you deserve. So with that being said, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video and got to know a little bit more about me and kind of who I am and where I'm going and how I feel about, you know, dating. And also, I hope you guys really enjoyed my new background. It's pretty spiffy. And I will be posting more videos soon. I will be posting a vlog very soon, I promise you guys, so stay tuned for that. And thanks for watching. Bye.